Have you ever loved something, truly loved it, and then watched it slowly slip away? It's a pain that resonates deep within, a feeling of helplessness as something beautiful transforms into something else. That's how I feel today. Today, I've made a difficult decision, a complete severing of ties. I've sold all of my Tesla stock, every single share. It wasn't a cold calculation. It wasn't about profits, though the profits were extraordinary. Over the years, Tesla wasn't just an investment, it was a belief. I saw something in Tesla when no one else did. It was a fledgling company, wounded, disregarded, a diamond in the rough. I saw the potential, the raw power, the possibility of something truly magical. And for a long time, it was magical. The returns were beyond my wildest dreams, across all my portfolios, a financial windfall that changed my life. But magic, as we all know, doesn't last forever. Sometimes, even the most promising flames flicker and die. Tesla, in my view, has relapsed. It's fallen back into old patterns, old weaknesses. I tried to salvage it, to nurture it back to health. I hoped things would improve, that the core challenges would be addressed. But over the past few years, the situation has only deteriorated, spiraling downward with increasing speed. I reached a point where I had no choice but to let go, to walk away. At this moment, someone else is stepping in, and if they can succeed where I believe I can no longer make a difference, then good for them. Truly, I know this news will upset many. I've already received messages filled with anger and disappointment, accusations of betrayal, predictions of regret. But I've held this stock for years, through thick and thin, and I know this company intimately. I've seen its brilliance, and now I'm seeing its decline. That's why I'm sharing this today, why I'm laying out the 5 crucial reasons behind my decision. These aren't fleeting observations. They're fundamental shifts that, if ignored, will lead to significant consequences. And believe me, there were even more reasons than 5, but these are the most critical. Before I delve into those reasons, let me address what it would take for me to reconsider, to buy back in. What conditions would need to be met? It's a question I've wrestled with. But first, if this video resonates with you, if you find this honest assessment valuable, please consider liking it. It's a simple gesture, but it means the world. And if you're new here, subscribing will keep you informed as I continue to navigate these complex markets. I'm often the one taking the unpopular stance, the one willing to challenge conventional wisdom, and I appreciate your support. I remember selling my Apple stock to invest in Tesla. People laughed. They called it foolish, reckless. Selling Apple for Tesla. What a joke, but history, as it often does, proved them wrong. The gains from Tesla were astronomical. Now I'm facing criticism for selling. The tables have turned. But I'm convinced there are better opportunities, and I'm going to explain why. I want to be transparent, to share my reasoning, even if it's uncomfortable. Because that's what true investors do. They adapt, they learn, and they make difficult decisions based on facts, not emotions. So let's begin with the first and perhaps most alarming reason. Tesla's core business is in decline. This isn't an opinion, it's a demonstrable fact. While electric vehicles are undeniably gaining traction globally, even in the traditionally slower US market, currently representing 8.1% of all vehicle sales, Tesla's dominance is eroding. Just a few years ago, Tesla controlled around 75% of the US EV market. Today, that number has plummeted to 43%, a steep accelerating decline. It's a trend that cannot be ignored. In the last year alone, Tesla's market share has fallen by nearly 9 percentage points. And we don't know where it will bottom out. 5%, 10%, 20%. The trajectory is clear, downward. The numbers paint a grim picture. Tesla performed worse than any other automaker in terms of electric vehicle sales growth in 2024. And this data is before the recent protests and controversies. This is a fundamental shift in the market, and it's happening now. While other countries, particularly China, have embraced EVs with remarkable speed, nearly 1 in every 2 cars sold in China is now electric. Tesla is struggling to maintain its position. BYD has already surpassed Tesla in both sales and revenue in China, and the gap is widening. Tesla is having trouble moving product in China, and even when it does, the margins are razor-thin due to intense competition. There are at least 5 to 10 serious EV competitors in China, all offering compelling products. Looking at global deliveries, the warning signs appeared in 2023. Tesla had initially projected a 50% annual growth rate, but those ambitions quickly faded. And in 2024, vehicle deliveries actually decreased. This happened despite significant price cuts. Tesla was practically giving cars away. Even with those discounts, sales volume went down. That's a catastrophic sign. It's a testament to the fact that product quality alone isn't enough. I've driven Teslas, a Model 3, a Model X, a Model S Plaid, and I can attest to their exceptional quality. The product is truly remarkable. But it doesn't matter. Let me illustrate with an analogy. Remember the Sony MP3 player that predated the iPod? It was a superior product, with a touchscreen and features Apple hadn't even dreamed of. But it failed. Why? Because Apple understood marketing. They understood how to connect with consumers and create a cultural phenomenon. Tesla's product is excellent, but it's facing a marketing and competitive landscape that's far more challenging. They're giving away Model 3s for $299 a month with $1,000 down, Model Ys for $499, offering $7,500 tax credits, and they still can't move them. It's a desperate situation, and it highlights a critical flaw. It's a rotten core. And investing in a company with a rotten core is a dangerous gamble. That leads me to my second point. Tesla's growing categories are about to plummet. Even if you overlook the decline in core automotive sales, you might point to the growth in energy generation and storage revenue and services and other revenue. And you'd be right to a point. These segments were growing rapidly. Energy generation and storage revenue was up 113% year over year, and services and other revenue was up 31%. But look closer. In the latest quarter, energy generation and storage growth slowed to 67%, and services growth plummeted to 15%. That's a massive deceleration. And it's not a one-time blip. These growth rates are unsustainable, especially as Tesla begins to face tougher comparisons in the coming quarters. And here's the crucial factor. The Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act has been a massive tailwind for Tesla. Tax credits and infrastructure grants have fueled their growth. But that era is coming to an end. These benefits are phasing out, and Tesla will soon be competing on a level playing field. Without those artificial advantages, their growth will slow dramatically. Consider the potential impact on full self-driving. It's touted as Tesla's biggest service opportunity, but is it truly viable? My experience with FSD has been underwhelming. It's a good product, but it's not perfect. It's more annoying than convenient, requiring constant attention and exhibiting behaviors that feel less human and more robotic. It might be worthwhile for someone stuck in Los Angeles traffic, but for most drivers, the $99 or $199 monthly fee simply isn't justified. And even if the technology improves, many drivers will simply prefer to remain in control. My third concern is a profound lack of purpose. Once, Tesla had a clear mission: to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. It was a noble goal, a rallying cry that resonated with consumers and investors. But that mission has been abandoned. As Elon Musk has drifted further to the right, aligning himself with political ideologies that actively dismiss climate change, that original purpose has become irrelevant. Now Tesla's aspirations seem adrift. Replacing Uber, becoming an AI company, building robots to replace landscapers. These are not inspiring goals. They lack the moral weight and transformative vision that once defined Tesla. It's a descent from saving the planet to automating chores. It's a profound disappointment. And that brings me to my fourth point. Tesla's best customers now hate the brand. The core demographic that fueled Tesla's success. Liberals, Europeans, and Chinese consumers have turned against the company. Liberals are alienated by Musk's increasingly conservative rhetoric. Europeans are disillusioned by his political stances, and Chinese consumers are wary of his association with figures like Donald Trump. This is not a minor issue. It's a catastrophic brand crisis. Look at what happened to Bud Light and Target, controversies that severely damaged their reputations and sales. But those pale in comparison to the damage Elon Musk has inflicted on the Tesla brand. Tesla's sales in Europe are plummeting, and the situation is likely to worsen. Rebuilding that trust will take years, if it's even possible. It's like a nuke went off, compared to the slow burns of other brand missteps. Finally, and perhaps most critically, Tesla now has a part-time CEO. This was the final straw. Elon Musk's attention has been diverted by Twitter, his personal pursuits, and his increasingly erratic behavior. He's no longer fully engaged with Tesla, and that's having a devastating impact on the company. A leader must be fully committed, fully present, and fully invested in the success of their organization. When a leader is distracted, the workforce becomes disengaged. There's a loss of motivation, a decline in innovation, and ultimately, a deterioration in performance. Tesla was once 5 to 7 years ahead of its competition. Now, that lead has shrunk to 1 or 2 years. The competition is catching up, and Tesla is losing its edge. Musk's focus has shifted, and the company is suffering as a result. It's a classic case of a talented leader losing sight of their core mission. The days of Musk sleeping on the factory floor, of driving his employees to push the boundaries of innovation, are long gone. And that's a tragedy. It's a welfare state for the rich. Since people will buy and hold the stock no matter what, there is no incentive to actually work and lead the company. So, what would it take for me to buy back in? It's a difficult question. I'd need to see a dramatic turnaround, a complete reversal of these trends. First, the valuation would have to come down significantly, a 70% or 80% crash. Second, Musk would have to return to Tesla full-time, with unwavering dedication and a renewed focus on innovation. And third, he would have to rebuild trust with his core customer base. It's a tall order, and I'm skeptical that it will happen. Goodbye, Tesla. It was a wild ride, and I'm grateful for that. Profits. But sometimes, the most responsible decision is to walk away. Thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing me to share my perspective. And as always, I appreciate your support.